Hey y'all, what's up? Friday. Just on my way over to the Costco. Gotta drop my car off. We bought new tires a couple years ago. We got them from Costco, and they come with free tire rotation and balance. So every 6,000 miles, we have to take them over there and get them done. The only thing is, it takes a couple hours for them to do it. So usually, I don't normally shop at Costco. But I keep the membership now that we have this, just so to get the tire balance, rotation and balance. So, because I think it's cheaper. And then if I do want something from Costco, we can go get it. But it's cheaper than having to pay somebody else to rotate and balance. So anyway, I noticed yesterday that I was like a couple hundred miles away. Like, yeah, at 356, and it's a 129. So yeah, I'm real close to that 6,000 that I need to drop it off for the rotation. So I got home yesterday. I made myself an appointment, and it usually takes a couple hours. I think they do that. Well, maybe it does take that long, but I think probably so that you go and shop, because most people probably go in there and drop their car off and go shop. But I usually drop it off, and people watch at the food court thing, and sometimes get a nice coffee or something. But yeah, so we're going to drop that off. And of course, we're in like some rainy stretch, because it's rained the past few days at different times, and it's starting to sprinkle on my windshield right now. So I heard thunder just before I left home. So, of course, it said it was going to be raining this morning, and this afternoon it would have, we would, see scattered thunderstorms. I have not had an ounce of rain all morning, but now it's 11:45. My appointment's at 12:15. Now it seems like we're gonna maybe get some, but although I do see peaks of blue sky up ahead in the mix of the clouds and whatnot. So, but Dave's in the car behind me, following me over, because I like him to go, because you know how it is some places, a woman comes in for vehicle stuff, they try to sell you stuff, and so I like him to go, but his back has really been bothering him again, and so he said, how about if I just follow you over and then we can come home, because if it's going to be a couple hours, we're only like, 15, maybe 20 minutes from Costco, depending on traffic. So yeah, that works good. We can go home and have lunch and hang out at home until they say my car's done, and we can head over and I can pick it up. It's Friday, so traffic will be something else come later this afternoon. So although with the college kids gone, it might not be as bad. It hasn't been being quite as bad, but around here you just never know. So, and I was actually originally, I thought maybe I'd go in and wander through Costco. I had a selfie stick thing that I had picked up at Goodwill a while back, and I'm glad I didn't try to sell it, because I put my phone on and went to use it, and the thing broke right off it. Obviously the bolt thing that holds it on has been broken. Ooh, that was close. That truck just about took out the barrier. He decided he wasn't going to get on the highway. He would stay on the feeder road, and wow. Well, anyway, so yeah, so we're headed over to the Costco, drop this off, head back home, but I thought I would hop on and just kind of touch base with you. And I see it's like, I don't know if you can tell if it's getting brighter, but I might have to actually maybe wear my sunglasses a little bit, get a little brighter. But, and as as far as my eBay thing, if you watched my video yesterday, if not, go back and watch that, eBay shenanigan things. But I have not heard anything. I did get something somewhere on my eBay thing that said that I had been paid for that. It had been, it shipped and I was paid. But then at some other point it said my funds were on hold for that order because the customer opened a claim because they didn't get the order. So I don't know. I haven't had a chance really to look to see what's going on. I've been trying to see if it's been delivered. It's still in limbo in Missouri. But they're no fault of UPS. They're trying to reach the customer, and the customer I don't think wants to be reached. Although she tells me, he, I don't know what it is, that they want the item, but anyway, it is what it is. I'm kind of over it. I was tipped right off yesterday, which if you watch my video, I'm sure you can tell I was tipped off, but it's a whole new day. It is what it is. So, but other than that, there's not a whole lot going on. I plan on going out dashing this afternoon, but now if it's going to be storming, I'll say I'm heading back in its dark sky ahead. It won't let me flip you around, or I'd flip it so that you could see what's going on. But yeah, it's just kind of cloudy up here. It was brightening up. That's just how it has been here lately. I remember our first year in Texas, it was like cloudy every morning. We'd get up and we'd think, oh, it looks like it's going to rain, which we desperately needed the rain. And by lunchtime, not a cloud in the sky, hot, and it was kind of dry. I think I remember humidity's limits being like in the 30s, which was nice, although it was like 114 a lot of days. And DoorDash and this fat lady trying to climb 3 flights of steps in 115 degrees to take somebody their Dairy Queen. Oh Lord. Honestly, I don't know why. If y'all live on a 3rd floor apartment, let me know in the comments. Do y'all get a discount for taking the 3rd floor? Because I don't know why anybody would choose to actually live on the 3rd floor. I get it if you have like oceanfront view or something. Maybe that would be appealing to some folks. But I just think of, man, you go out for a loaf of bread, you gotta go up 3 flights of steps. You go out for any kind of groceries, unless you're having them delivered, you gotta carry them up those steps. You buy a new piece of furniture, you gotta carry them up those steps. And when you move out, you gotta carry it all down the steps. So I just, to me, I'm like, oh, I can't imagine. I think there should be some kind of law that if it's more than a 2nd story apartment complex, they should put elevators in for y'all. So at least, stairs. So if you're somebody that prefers to use the stairs, by all means, have at it. But if you're somebody that isn't, I think of, like, what happens if you live in a 3rd floor and you get hurt? You break a leg, an ankle, throw your back out real bad, you get some kind of health condition where stairs, you can't climb stairs or whatever. What happens then? Because if you're in a lease with these apartment complexes, I know because I live in one, you don't just get out for any good reason. You either have to wait for your time to be up. Now we did luck out because we were just transferring. We stayed with the same company, same complex. We were just flopping to a different building in an updated apartment. So we just, we lucked out there. if you're leaving a complex, you usually have to pay a pretty hefty fee, at least here, to move out. Because I don't know if it's like this everywhere. We had not rented in a apartment complex since like shortly after we were married, and that's going on 40 years. So maybe it's like this everywhere, but here you have to give 90-day notice before you move out. So you have to let them know like 3 months before your lease is up if you're planning on staying or if you're planning on leaving. And if you're planning on leaving, then they list your apartment. So the apartments here, like when we got our apartment, it was like 4 or 5 months before we could actually move in that it was listed. The people had already said no, we'll be moving out, whatever. I'm assuming it was whenever their lease was up. And so here you have to do that. So I'm thinking, what happens to these people on these third floors? Second floor would be bad enough with any of those things that I just mentioned. But I can't imagine having to be like on a third floor. Or I have delivered once to a fourth floor apartment. Oh, good Lord, that was a treat. But I always gotta look to see where Costco is. There's no signs out here. You just gotta look for the gas station that says Costco. Then you know the building's back here. But I don't know. I'm having a squirrel moment. Sorry. I just wonder what happens to those people. My God, even if you lived on a third floor and you got pregnant, those last little bit of pregnancy, I can't imagine. That'd be none too fun to have to climb up and down all those stairs when you're like 8 months pregnant. So, I don't know. I guess I really just kind of was rambling on. I gotta park over here. Alrighty. Alright, y'all. Well, I guess I am gonna take my happy little keister into the Costco and give them. It's kind of crazy. You gotta have a card to get into Costco. Even like since we bought our tires here, you still have to have the card to get in there to get any work done on your tires. So I'll have to go in and give them my card and then make my way to the service center so that I can get that done. So I will check back with y'all probably later on today, and other than that, we'll just go with this. So I'll talk to you again real soon here, either again today or in the next one. Bye, guys.